Hello and welcome to the Manager's Desk. My name's Evan Baltz. I'm a marketing technology leader and a team builder, and a bit of a manager coach as well. And that's the topic for today's podcast. Managers wear a lot of hats sometimes. Managers can be taskmasters, they can be kind of HR-ish with year-end reviews. They can be hiring managers, project managers, code or creative or copy reviewers. They can be listeners. They can be promoters. On and on it goes. Managers wear a lot of hats. One of the most important things a manager can do to ensure his team is successful is to be a coach. Coaching can be a difficult job, though, and not everybody's cut out for it, and not everybody will be successful at it. Some managers are successful in some of those areas we mentioned and not in others. But if a manager falls short in his or her ability to coach, then that could be a problem. So I'd like to offer 5 suggestions or 5 ideas for things to focus on as a manager to be a good coach for the people on your team. Bad coaches are all around. You don't have to look too far in professional sports or college sports to see managers and coaches get fired all the time and are replaced. And a new coach comes in with a new scheme, and perhaps it works, perhaps it doesn't. And maybe when you were younger, you experienced a good coach or a bad coach on a sports team playing soccer or football or volleyball or whatever it was. Think to yourself, what were the attributes that a good coach had back then? Here's a couple of suggestions that I have. Number one, and it might be the most important one, demonstrate through examples. Show them how to do something by doing it yourself. There's nothing worse than a manager who's a bit of a hypocrite, right? Who says, show up on time and do your work and set your out of office messages, and then they don't do any of that, right? It's really important to demonstrate the behaviors that you want to see in your team and do it every day. How you communicate with people in meetings and how you talk to people and how you are in one-on-ones and whether you're prepared or not. Demonstrating through your example is probably the most powerful tool that you have available to you as a manager. And it's a great way to coach people. Demonstrate through examples. The second one is provide feedback on their performance, right? But meaningful, not participation trophy. Hey, I'm so glad you showed up today, kind of things, right? Reward people for really, truly good behavior and doing things the right way. Say you've coached an employee in the past for where they've fallen short, maybe on some of their demonstration skills within a talking in a meeting or presenting or whatever it is, and you perhaps have provided some feedback for them in the past. Make sure that you follow up with them and reward them for the good jobs that they've done and the good things that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And then also suggest other ways they might improve. Maybe something like, hey, have fewer slides in your presentation so you can really focus on what's really important. Or maybe take notes in the meeting and then review those notes afterwards and provide a bulleted summary to everyone on the team. If you continue to provide feedback, that lets them know how they're doing and where they're going and where they can still improve. You don't want to be overly harsh. That's not necessary. You've seen football coaches screaming at kids on the sideline. That's not a really good tactic in the professional world for sure. But as I said, you also don't want to be too superficial. You want it to be meaningful, something that will actually help them move towards success. The third one is give them opportunities for growth and advancement, right? If a player is doing well, say in a high school sport, my son plays soccer and he's doing really well, it's great for the coach to give them more playing time. or to give them a chance to play on the varsity, at least some. And as they continue to improve their skill set and get better, to give them more opportunities. In a work environment, usually this is about leadership roles or taking on new responsibilities. You won't know if someone can move to the next level unless you've given them opportunities to try it out. The best way to get somebody on your team promoted, in fact, is to have them do the work of the next level. Maybe they're a junior developer in my world. Give them responsibilities of a more senior developer. See how they do. And if they're performing up to your expectations and to the standard, it makes it easy to promote that person. They're already doing the work, they already have the skill set. So give opportunities for growth. As a coach, too, you need to create a game plan. And in the business world, that would be a strategy to help your team be successful. And you want to play to each team member's strengths. Not everybody comes to the table with the same skill sets, the same knowledge, the same experience, right? You need to give them opportunities that are in line with that which they are the best at. Doesn't mean you don't challenge them to do things they might not be comfortable with, but give them opportunities along the lines where they excel and have the best opportunity to succeed. Create an overall strategy. Write it down for each member on your team. Give them a plan to get to the next level. Have a strategy for each person and for the team as a whole. Where do we want to go? These aren't necessarily corporate type goals. These are things within a year. We want to be doing this as a team or as an individual. I want to see you performing at this level. Those are things will help direct them. And as a coach, you owe them that. That's part of your job. Create that strategy and that environment for success. And finally, and we touched on it earlier, reward them for outstanding performance, right? Not necessarily the day to day, although you can say, thank you for this or thank you for that, but truly reward them, promote them, or give them a raise or a new title that reflects their hard work. And I know some managers say, well, it's not always up to me whether I can grant that or not. That's true in a lot of environments. That might not be just up to you as a manager to give a raise or a promotion, but fight for them. If they've truly shown you that they can perform at a higher level, it's your responsibility to promote them within the organization and see that they're recognized for that performance. There's nothing more frustrating than doing everything that's asked of you year after year and not receiving any rewards that are tangible, like titles and promotions and money. These are 5 things that I think can help you be a manager as coach. And don't take it too lightly. These are things that need to come up almost every day as you manage your team. Think about them, write it down, prepare the plan, and hold yourself accountable as a manager to truly be a coach. Some of the most important and meaningful things that I've ever done as a manager is just talking with my team members, asking them questions, providing them feedback, but not necessarily in a formal sense. That can come off a little bit too preachy or a little bit too stagnant or a little bit too scary for your employees. It's important to just talk to them, say, hey, I've found in the past when I'm in a meeting, I try to hold my questions until the end. And that way I've made sure that people are listening and everybody else has said what they have to say. And then if no one says anything, I'll chime in. Or perhaps you say something like, hey, if somebody else takes the thing that you wanted to say in the meeting, say, that's a great idea. I'm glad you brought that up. Just little coaching tips throughout. You're not really, scolding them. You're not really patting them on the back all the time. You're giving them organically things that they can use in their day-to-day work, right? These are the types of things that your employees will find meaningful over time and will help develop new talent because at the end of the day, that's part of your job as well, right? To develop talent, to make sure that people are getting promotions, and you're providing a service then to your organization and building a strong team. You can watch all of these podcasts on YouTube or Spotify. You can also listen to them on Amazon Music or iHeartRadio. Until next time, we'll see you.